ಹಾಯ್ ಹಲೋ ನಮಸ್ತೆ, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ಆತ್ಮೀಯ SSLC ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ 2022-23 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮನ್ನು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನವರು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೀ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಏನು, ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೀ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ನೀವೇನು ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆಯನ್ನ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಬನ್ನಿ ಮತ್ತಿನ್ನಾಗ್ತಾರ.
Karnataka School Examination and Assessment Board SSLC examination which was conducted March-April 2023, and this board it has been released model key answers which is related to social science English medium. So let's come to the what are the answers for these questions. Let's hear first main which is related to multiple choice questions. Total 8 multiple choice question, each one carries 1 mark, total 8 marks. So here is the first question. The first princely state to accept subsidiary alliance is option A Nawab of Awadh, option B Nawab of Junagadh, option C Nizam of Hyderabad, option D Sindhia of Gwalior, and the right answer option C Nizam of Hyderabad. Let's move on to question number 2. Goa was merged into Indian Union in option A 1951, B 1961, C 1953, D 1963, and the right answer option B 1961. So let's move on. Third question. Dr. D.M. Nanjundappa committee was established with the objective to option A check communalism, B check regionalism, C check illiteracy, D check corruption. The right answer option B check regionalism. Let's move on to question number 4. Truly the whole mankind is one was declared by option A Pampa, B Ranna, C Janna, D Panna. The right answer option A Pampa. Let's move on to question number 5. Rajesh purchased a TV worth rupees 25,000. It broke down within 2 days. The TV company did not consider his complaint. He has to file a case in a option A District Consumer Forum, option B the State Consumer Commission, option C the National Consumer Commission, option D Thakur Consumer Taluk Consumer Forum, and the right answer option A District Consumer Forum. Let's move on to question number 6. The best example for the conventional energy source among the following is option A wind energy, B tidal energy, C solar energy, D natural gas, and the right answer option D natural gas. Let's move on to question number 7. Niti Aayog is headed by the Prime Minister, but the day-to-day administration is looked after by option A President, B Secretary, C Deputy Prime Minister, D Vice Chairman. So the right answer option B Vice Chairman. Let's move on to the last question, multiple choice, 8th one. The Child Labor Prohibition and Control Act was enacted in the year option A 1988, option B 1994, option C 1986, option D 2006. The right answer option C 1986. Here comes the first main multiple choice questions has completed. Let's move on to second main, that is one word answer. Total 8 questions, each one carries 1 mark, total 8 questions and 8 marks. So here is the first question, question number 9. Why did Wellesley introduce subsidiary alliance? The right answer to bring the Indian kings under control. Question number 10. What was the immediate cause for the First World War? The answer for this, the assassination of the Austrian Prince Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Next question, what is communalism? The split of community on the basis of religion creates religious division resulting in mutual distrust and threat. Among that, if any one answer, if it is written, that is the right answer for that. Let's move on to next question. What is mean by prejudice? Opinion about another person or community even before he gets to know them is called as prejudice. Next question. What is Kala Baisakhi? The answer, the rain that occurs in West Bengal due to local temperature and winds during April and May is called as Kala Baisakhi. Next question. Why are mangrove forests of Gangetic Delta called Sundarbans? Answer, the Sundari trees are found in plenty in these forests. Hence, they are called as Sundarbans. Next question. What is deficit budget? When the expenditure is more than the income is called as the deficit budget. So for second main, one word answer, last question. Banks collect service charges from which type of bank accounts? Right answer, current account. From current account, they are going collect service charge. So that is about second main, one word answer. Let's move on to 2 marks question. Third main, answer the following questions in 2 or 4 sentences each. So here also there will be 8 questions. Each one will be carries 2 marks, total 16 marks. Here is question number 17. What measures are taken by the government of India to remove illiteracy? Here the question number 17 choice is there. Know about the first one. What measures are taken by the government of India remove illiteracy? The answer for this question, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was launched in 2001. Priority was given for education to physical challenged. Women's education and awareness. In 1988, National Literacy Mission was started. Sakshara Bharat. Education is made fundamental right to education in 2009. Compulsory free education for 6 to 14 years. Among these points, if you have written any 4 points, it can be acceptable. And next, the choice question is, what measures are taken to check terrorism in India? Answer for this question, India's policy is totally against terrorism. Central and state governments are venturing to control, protect men and property. Anti-terrorist forces are set up. Defense forces are pressed into throw out terrorism. Peace-loving nation against terrorism in world level. So among these, if you have written any 4 points can be acceptable. So let's move on to question number 18. Here also there will be a choice for this question. Social stratification is not commonly observed in all countries. Explain. So first we will going to get the answer for this question and next we will move on choice question. So for this, social stratification is not commonly observed in all countries. Explain. Income, education, caste, color, sex, job, intellectual, low, high, opportunities, rich and poor, blacks and whites, slaves and owners. Among these, so if it is any 4 points can be acceptable. So choice question, explain the nature of riots. Destroying everything in their way, creation of chaos, lead to large scale loss, do not have any particular aim, serious challenges for law and order, provoking circumstances, uncontrolled behavior, uncivilized behavior, riotous mindset. Among these, any 4 points can acceptable. Let's move on to question number 90. The British used Indian Civil Act of 1909 to divide and rule India. Justify. Answer for this question. The total number of central legislative members was increased. The number of council members was also increased in the provinces. The members for legislature were allowed through election. Separate representation for Muslims. Separate electorate college was created. So among these, any 4 points, one extra point is there. So any 4 points can acceptable. Let's move on to question number 20. What were the effects of First World War of Indian independence? The arrangements made by the company with the kings were accepted. Ambitious expansion plans had to be given up. A stable government had to be provided to Indians, not to interfere in religious matters. Peaceful rule was not possible without support, trust and confidence. New route to freedom movement. So these are the points for the effects of First War of Indian independence. So let's move on to question number 21. Irrigation is very essential in India. Why? Answer for this. Availability of water varies from region to region, varies from time to time. Rainfall in India uncertain, unreliable, unequally distributed. Agriculture majorly depends on irrigation. So these are the points. Let's move on to question number 22. The eastern coast of India is more prone to cyclones. Why? Cyclones originate in the Bay of Bengal. Heating different in land and water. Humidity, unstable air masses. Cyclones originate in the Bay of Bengal and blow towards westwards. Sometimes they change their direction to the northwest, hitting Odisha or West Bengal. Occurrence in 2 periods, more frequently in October and November. Among that, any 4 points can be acceptable. Let's move on to question number 23. Which factors led to the Green Revolution? Using high-yielding seeds, Dr. Norman Borlaug, an agricultural scientist, discovered high-yielding grains, achieved immense success in Mexico and Taiwan, regulated supply of water, protection from diseases, high-yielding variety of seeds, fertilizers and pesticides are used, irrigation facilities were expanded, used improved technology. Among that, any 4 points can accept. Let's move on to question number 24. What are the main objectives of Consumer Protection Act? Importance for safety and quality, avoiding production and sale of dangerous goods, prevention of trade malpractices, supervision on quality, weights, supervision on price, compensating the consumers in case of any problem arising as a result of trade, creating awareness to the consumers through consumer education. So this is about third main, which is belongs to 2 marks question, total 8 2 marks questions. Let's move on to fourth main. So here comes the 3 marks question. Answer the following questions in 6 sentences or points each. There will be a 9 3 marks question. So total 27 marks for this main. Question number 25. Krishna Devaraja Vadayar IV was much interested in spreading education among his people. Justify. Answer for this. Interested in spreading education, abolished fees in primary schools, helped girls' education, established Mysore University, scholarships to Abroad Education, IISE, Indian Institute Science Center in Bengaluru was established. So these are the 6 points for question number 25. That means 3 marks question, first 3 marks question. Let's move on to second one. Question number 26. State the results of Battle of Buxar. Diwani rights over Bengal was given. Shah Alam II granted for an annual fee of rupees 26 lakhs. War indemnity of 50 lakhs to be paid by Suza-ud-Dawla. Pension to Mir Jafar's son. Entire administration over Bengal to British. So these are the points for the results of Battle of Buxar. So let's move on to question number 27. So here the question number 27, it has a choice. First we will discuss choice number 1. What were the aims of Prarthana Samaj? Service to mankind is service to God. Priority to spread education. The Deccan Education Society encouraged widow remarriage, female literacy, intercaste marriage. Interdining discouraged child marriage, against casteism, against idolatry and pardha system, orphanages, national schools. Among that, any 6 can be acceptable. Let's move on to the choice question. What were the demands put forward by the moderates to the British government? So answer for this: development of industries in India, reduction of military expenses, improvement in educational standards, studies about poverty, try to give political education, appeals before the government, discussion about the problems. So these are 6 points. Let's move on to question number 28. Okay, explain the role of IMF in solving the economic problems of the world. Answer for this: try to solving international economic problems, promote world trade, helpful to economic stability, sound balance of payment, central banks strive to harmonize the economic relations of advanced and poor nations. Among these, any 6 points. So let's move on to question number 29. List out the problems faced by the unorganized sector workers, not bound by any rulers or regulations. Less wages, no job security, no fixed wages and allowances, no pension, harassed by entrepreneurs, no vacation allowances. Among these, any 6 points can be acceptable. Let's move on to question number 30. Soil erosion leads to many problems. Justify. Accumulation of silt in the riverbeds causing floods, changing direction of river's course, storage capacity of the reservoirs get reduced, volume of water percolating down gets reduced, natural springs dry up, productivity is reduced, fertility is reduced, harm to vegetation, drought. Among these, any 6 points. So let's move on to question number 31. So this question number 31, it has a choice questions. Among that, choice number 1. List out the major ports that are found in eastern coast of India. So answer for this: Tuticorin, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Paradip, Kolkata, Haldia. So choice number 2. List out the preventive measures for earthquake. Answer for this: restricting construction of multi-stored buildings, using very light materials for construction, ensure stability, providing basic amenities, medical facilities, food supply, providing drinking water, temporary shelter, basic facilities. Among these, any 6 points. So let's move on to question number 32. What is the main role of women self-help groups in rural area? So here also question number 32, there will be a choice. So this is the choice number 1. So after this, we'll move on choice number 2. So for this, main role of women self-help groups in rural area. Answer for this question. Organizing poor rural women, making them financially independent, avail of loans easily and engage in productive activity, mobilizing savings, repayment of loans, control exploitation of women and children, help to control child marriage, dowry, caste system, help to building a clean and progressive society. Among these, any 6 points can acceptable. Let's move on to choice number 2. Which are the main types of non-tax revenues collected by central government? Answer for this: the net profit earned by the Reserve Bank of India, the net profit generated by the Indian Railways, the revenue generated by the Department of Post and Telecommunications, the revenue generated by public sector industries, the revenue generated by coins and mints, various types of fees and penalties, etc. So these are the 6 points. So let's move on to question number 33. So here also there will be a choice question. 2 choices are there. Out of that, first we will going to choice number 1. Mention the characteristics of an entrepreneur. So the characteristics are creativity, dynamism, team building, problem solving, risk taking, commitment, innovation, leadership, achievement, motivation, goal orientation, decision making. Among these, any 6 points can be acceptable. Let's move on to choice number 2. Banks provide a lot of services to its consumers. Explain. So answer for this: credit cards, personal loans, home and vehicle loans, mutual funds, business loans, safe deposit lockers, debit cards, trust services, signature guarantees. So that's it about 4th main, the 3 marks question, total 9 question, 3 marks question, total 27 marks. Let's move on to 5th main, that is a 4 marks question. There will be a 4 mark questions, total 16 marks. Here is the first one, question number 34. The integration of Kashmir with Indian Union is unique compared to other provinces. How? Yes, answer for this: King Hari Singh wanted to be independent, fearing a merger with India. Pakistan incited the tribals, decided that merging with India that had a democratic republican constitution was better than merging with which he had a religious constitution. King Hari Singh requested for help from Indian government. Pakistan made attempt to capture that place, but it was failed. Jammu and Kashmir merged with India with certain conditions. One part of Kashmir still even today remained with Pakistan. It was called as the POK, Pak Occupied Kashmir. India complained to UNO regarding this issue. UNO ordered to ceasefire. Kashmir occupied by Pakistan is called as Pak Occupied Kashmir. For these reasons, the integration of Jammu and Kashmir, even today, it is a unique. Among these, 8 points can be acceptable. So let's move on to question number 35. Relationship between India and China has been strained in these days. Why? India was the first country to recognize Chinese communist government. Indo-China relationship is based on Panchashila principles. Hindi, Chini, Bhai, Bhai, constructive cooperative principles are not bringing expected results between the two countries. China has annexed Tibet against Indian will. 1962 Indo-Pak War. In that battle, China won the war. China's claim over Arunachal Pradesh nowadays. Maoists, terrorism in the form of Naxalism in India. Our border is also not finally democrated. No well settled international border. We do have only line of actual control, nuclear threat, foreign trade challenges, military advancements between both the nations. So this is, let's move on to next question. Agriculture plays a very important role in Indian economy justified. Agriculture is the main occupation of Indians, played important role to develop civilization. It is the main occupation of Indians involved in different forms, cultivation of different crops, supplies the food grains, food to cattle, raw materials for industries. Agriculture nurtures many industries, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, industries. Agriculture supports many tertiary occupations like transport, trade, banking, helps environmental balance. So this is about, let's move on to next question. And this question number 37, it has a choice among that choice number 1. Explain the political and economic causes for the first war of Indian independence. So answer for this, political causes. Doctrine of lapse. Many kingdoms lost their existence. Satara, Jaipur, Jhansi, Udaipur came under the British control, cancelled the title of Nawab of Tanjavur and Carnatic. Nawab of Awadh and other kings were stripped. Lakhs of soldiers became unemployed. And the next, economic causes. Due to the Industrial Revolution, Indian handicrafts and cottage industries suffered heavily. Indian craftsmen became unemployed. Textile and wool industries became weak. People lost their jobs. British imposed heavy tax on Indian goods. Zamindari system exploited the farmers. Inam lands were taken back. Farmers faced many financial problems. So these are economic and political causes for the first war of Indian independence. So choice number 2 question, explain the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So answer for this, widespread protests against Rowlatt Act. Protests turned violent, imposed military rule, banned all demonstrations. Protesters had decided to assemble at Jallianwala Bagh. They were not aware of this ban. Nearly 20,000 protesters had assembled. Peaceful demonstration was going on. General Dyer, without any warning, attacked the protesters with firearms. 379 persons were died in this incident. Thousands were seriously injured, and this incident, it is called as the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy. So, and the last main, so this is about based on the skill, draw an outline map of India and locate the given places. Draw an outline map of India and mark the following places. So here is 82.5 degree east longitude. So this is considered as the 82.5 degree east longitude, and the location of Kochi. The place it is called as Kochi, and the place of Vishakhapatnam. So here it is the place of Vishakhapatnam, it is located, and the place of Koina, it is in Maharashtra. So this is about the place which is based on the skill based question. Draw an outline map of India and locate the places. So that's it about this, the model key answer which was released by SSLC Board. In case of if you having any doubts, you can comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts and I will come back with the next video. Until keep watching my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.